guys. So, can I ask you a question? If one herb disappeared from your apothecary tomorrow, would your entire cabinet fall apart? I mean, really think about that. Because I think that's one of the biggest differences between collecting herbs and building an apothecary. So, when I first started, my goal was to own all the herbs, right? Now my goal is something completely different. I want to understand enough herbs that if one disappears tomorrow, I know exactly what herb I need to look to next. So let's talk about that. So I hope to teach you from my mistakes. So when I first started, right, like I said, I wanted to collect every herb, the rarest herbs, the prettiest herbs, climb mountains for herbs, right? So somebody would mention a new plant, I would get caught up in the buzzwords, and I ordered it. And my shelves were constantly growing, but my understanding was not. And this was years ago, right? And then one day I realized I wasn't building an apothecary. I was building a collection. And those are two very different things. So when I look at my cabinet now, I don't organize it alphabetically. I organize it by body systems. We've got digestive, we've got our respiratory, we've got our nervous system, we've got some skin herbs in the middle, we've got our urinary herbs down here, we've got our women's health herbs over here, we've got our mineral-rich herbs down here, a very small collection of bitters down there. And when I look at my cabinet now, I'm not asking, what herbs do I have? I'm asking, what systems in my body can I support? That's a completely different way of thinking about it, right? So, I want you to play this game with me. So let's pretend that there's a catastrophic spraying epidemic in your state, and all the mullein has either been wiped out, poisoned, or changed. Every bit of it is completely useless or disappears. Maybe there's a crop failure, maybe all the suppliers have run dry, maybe shipping is delayed, right? Maybe there's a strike, right? And we can't get it. If I panic, right? If you look at that one herb in your cabinet and you're like, if I run out of that tomorrow, I'm in trouble. It tells me that I have depended on that herb way too much. So I stop and ask myself, what do I use mullein for? Notice I didn't ask, what would replace mullein? No, I asked, what job are you doing in my cabinet? And that is how you think through your apothecary. So as we've learned, we think in actions, right? So maybe I was reaching for the mullein because I wanted a traditionally soothing herb for my respiratory system, right? So now I open my cabinet. Do I have marshmallow root? Yes, I do. Do I have plantain? Yes, I do. So they all are different herbs, but they accomplish similar things. It doesn't mean they're identical to mullein, right? Because they're not. Every herb has its own personality. But now I'm thinking in terms of actions instead of names, and that's a huge shift. Both of these can support the same systems. Don't make the tragic mistake that I did too and fall in love with one herb. We all have it, you know you do. I bet you could put it in the comments below what your favorite herb is. Some of you it's going to be ashwagandha, some of you it's going to be elderberry, some of you love mullein. I know Rivka's going to comment lemon balm probably. Wherever it is, right? Stop that. But instead, fall in love with the understanding of what that herb is doing in the herbal action. Because once you understand the purpose of the herb, you're no longer limited to your one favorite plant. Sure, buy as much of it as you want to, but if it goes away tomorrow, know how to use a different herb. We're going to stop collecting and build with purpose. So now when I walk through my cabinet, I might see that I have 6 digestive herbs. Do I really need to spend money on the 7th right now? Probably not. And maybe I only have 1 herb that I regularly reach for when I want a soothing tea. I might have a favorite tea, but I need to have other tea herbs. If I only have that one, well, that's a gap in my apothecary. And that's probably where my money needs to be spent next time. Every herb is on that shelf because it's earned its place. The biggest way to get more bang for your buck is start in your backyard. If I had to start over tomorrow and this cabinet completely disappeared, I think I'd spend my first year learning the plants in my own backyard, getting a guide, learning what's in my area, plantain, dandelion, violets, chickweed, purple dead nettle, right? Those plants are teaching opportunities that we all love, are free. We all love to save money. I don't care who you are. Sometimes we spend so much time chasing the rare herbs, guilty as charged, that we never truly learn the common ones around us. And that's honestly backwards, guys. World ends tomorrow. Shipping delays. You can always get plantain, but you might not be able to get ginseng, right? So I would build my apothecary, right? If I started, so depending on when I started, right? If I'm in the springtime when I start to do it, well, that's easy, right? You're going to have your fresh greens, your tender leaves, your common weeds. But summer's going to roll around, and then you're going to get into your flowers, and fall's going to give me roots and berries. And winter, I find personally, is a wonderful time to organize, read, label, study my tinctures, label my jars, plan out my next year, research what I have collected, and use that time as the teaching opportunities, right? Active state, resting state. So one thing I do now, when I open up my cabinet, I ask, what's missing? Maybe I have lots of herbs, like I said, for digestive. Great. If I don't have a lot of digestive issues, then I probably don't need to buy any more, right? But maybe my respiratory is lacking. Maybe I don't have enough mineral-rich herbs. I am currently out of nettle. Or maybe I need more bitters. I know exactly what my next purchase should be, and I'm not just out there shopping randomly and, buying the pretty stuff. I'm thinking in terms of gaps, right? This is why I don't chase the rare herbs anymore. Sure, I have some, but social media loves the newest, rarest, hardest, that secret hidden knowledge, right? Let me ask you something. If you can't order that herb for 6 months, what are you going to do? Would your apothecary still work? Could you walk outside and recognize the plants that are growing around you and understand how they traditionally fit into your herbal studies? If the answer is yes, well, you're building something resilient. And that's amazing, and you should be proud of yourself. If your answer is no, you know where you need to study. So when I look at my jars now, right, I don't see products. I see lessons. I see patterns. I see the plant families. I see body systems. I see the preparations. I know what I can use them for. And I see a lot of years of learning and mistakes. Every jar has earned its place because it taught me something. Even if it was you wasted money. So, if you're just starting your herbal journey, don't try to get 100 herbs. Heck, don't even start with 50 or 25. Maybe start with 10, right? Build your apothecary with intention. Learn the herbs you have in your own backyard. Think in actions instead of names. Build around the body systems that you want to support, and look for gaps within those body systems. And always ask yourself, if this disappeared tomorrow, what would I learn if I had to find another way? Because I don't think the goal is to build the biggest apothecary, and there's some fancy ones out there. I think the goal is to build one that teaches you. And in doing that, you'll slowly become the herbalist you hope to be. So, until next time, guys, stay rooted, stay curious, and as always, keep growing in grace.